Oh, you like that beat, huh? Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah,
pretty cool. Well, what we got up next is pretty cool. This is one of my favorite people in DFW radio right here. I've been wanting this guy on for a long time. Screen went blank. Oh, there it is. Yeah. One of my favorites. I don't know if you know this. We had a situation develop back, I want to say back in the 14 to 15, where when I was a G-Bag Nation champ, he tried to take the belt from me. But due to his co-host, trying to book things without CBS's knowledge, we had to wipe that championship win. I had to take it back from him. But joining us right now is one of my favorite guys in DFW radio. You hear him every day, 10 to 3, or is it 10 to 2? It's 10 to 2. On 105.3 The Fan. From the K.M.C. I want to make sure I get this right. K.M.C Masterpiece. Because they got Mike Bassick over there, so it's not K&C anymore. But it's K.M.C Masterpiece. Kevin Haegland, how you doing today, man?
And I was doing better before you tried to add an hour to my show. Like 4 hours is fine. You don't need to make it 5.
Well, we love it so much that we want it 5.
Sure, I get that. And you should probably butter me up, since what a fascinating retelling of the championship story. Yeah. I earned that belt back in 2015, and I was jobbed out of it.
Yeah, they call it the OT Tavern Screwdriver is what they call it.
Oh my God, so true. So true.
So where do I start? I'll start here. So do you hate Luka more than Trae Young, or you hate Trae Young more than Luka, or do you just hate the 2018 draft class altogether? Is that what I'm understanding?
Man, what revisionist history people have. I just want people to go back to the podcast where I said we need to take Luka, and then I remember on that night at the AAC in 2018, a bunch of people calling in being like, oh, great, we got another soft white Euro. And I was like, no, man, he's different. You just wait and see. Bull crap. The Trae Young thing, I have been forced into disliking Trae Young as Atlanta beats the crap out of Milwaukee, even though he's not playing, is Trae Young is a quality basketball player. But when people are like, oh, he's just as good as Luka, then I'm like, no. I'm not having any of that.
Well, 2 stories real quick. Last year at the AAC, after a Hawks game, I had to publicly apologize to Trae Young for not respecting his shot, and he gladly accepted my apology. Told me it was nothing to worry about, just that I need to go forward. And what was that? 2 days before the Mavs draft, I ran into Donnie at the Los Mavs Festival, and I told Donnie, you need to move up and draft Luka, because if you don't, Memphis will take him. And on draft night, that's why you had your trade that happened on draft night.
Well, on behalf of all Dallas sports fans, let me go ahead and thank you for helping us get Luka. And just to show that I will never back down on an opinion, is I'm thinking about building an addition to my house. I'm just going to stand under the basket and get all the bricks Trae Young throws up. And
whoa, come on. See, that's what I'm
talking about. Check the shooting percentages, people. Check it.
Kevin, can you please not get Walt's ego and more inflated than it is? Because I got to deal with him every 2 nights a week, and I can't handle him acting like he saved the Mavericks because he's the same guy that brought Chandler Parsons here.
I did do that one too.
Oh my God,
I did do that one too.
Did you meet Cuban and Chandler at the club? And you were
like, hey,
actually, probably sign here.
Actually, after he was signed, we actually hung out at a Metro PCS signing together.
Well, as long as it happened after the fact, that was too late to fix it.
Wait. And matter of fact, I switched my phone to Metro that day too because of that signing.
Okay, well, now I'm against you then.
So, Hagee, let's talk about the Dallas Mavs. A lot of stuff is going on over there. How do you feel about the J. Kidd hiring this past week?
I was just reading an article by Brad Townsend, and Lord knows on the show I have criticized Brad Townsend quite a bit.
Man, you need to lay out Mr. Brad, man. I like Mr. Brad.
He yelled at me one time.
It's just sometimes Brad Townsend just kind of parrots the message of the Dallas Mavericks without sometimes researching himself, I believe.
Come on,
man.
And
I know some people will think this is the same thing.
Oh, your dog's upset. See? Talking bad about Mr. Brad, that's what happens.
You might be right about that. But he's got a really good article up right now talking about Cynthia Marshall's interactions with Jason Kidd, and She said that she had a discussion with him going back to what happened in 2001 with the domestic violence accusations and everything like that. And if you get the chance to read it in the Dallas Morning News or DallasNews.com, it's really, really interesting. And I think that's a big deal because Marshall herself was a victim of domestic violence. And I mean, look, people can feel however they want about the hiring in terms of the basketball sense, in terms of the domestic violence sense, but it's a good thing for the Mavericks when Cynthia Marshall, who herself suffered from domestic violence, says, hey, we had a real chat about it. Because I'm all about that. Like, people get second chances, third chances, and everything like that, as long as you, like, address what happened.
Right.
And it sounds like that is taking place. And I think just from that perspective, it's a good thing. From a basketball perspective, hopefully he learned plenty being an assistant the last couple of years because his last head coaching endeavor did not end super awesome.
Well, it was good because he learned from LeBron. So,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
god!
Sure.
Oh my god!
LeBron runs the world. We're just living in it. You know you're going to watch Space Jam 2. Don't pretend like
yeah,
you're not.
EA.
I am.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a LeBron guy. I just don't like Walt being a LeBron guy because it gets annoying.
Oh, that's
mean,
fair.
I mean, you know, everybody tries to compare him and Michael Jordan. I'm just
Well, I'm with you on that one.
I
I'm
mean,
with
at
you
this
on that
point,
one.
I mean, there's no comparison, but go ahead, EA.
We're here with Kevin Haegland here on Best for Business here on Dallas on Air. Kevin, I got to ask you, what do you think of Rick Carlisle turning into a petty person as he leaves the Mavericks? Apparently, people don't like the fact that he didn't. Apparently, threw Jamal Mosley under the bus. He sided with Jason Kidd, surprisingly, for Luka Doncic as the next head coach. What's going on with Rick Carlisle? He went from celebrated head coach to petty mean girl.
And before you go, Kevin, I just want to point out that last week Kevin Gray was on here, and I told him, I said, you know what, Kevin, something doesn't smell right about this Jason Kidd hire. I think Rick already knew that they were probably going to be talking to Jason Kidd. That's why he went ahead and said what he said on his way out the door. That's just my personal opinion.
Man, who knew that, like, teenage drama was running wild with the Dallas Mavericks? Like, we probably should have, but, I mean, think about what happened. And it's interesting what you said about Jamal Mosley. Like, I'm not disputing that that's how it went down, but it's all a matter of perspective, right? Because from Rick Carlisle's perspective, we heard rumblings that Jamal Mosley went behind his back and buddied up with Luka and was like, look, man, you don't really got to listen to what Carlisle just said about. And if that's the case, well, then hell yeah, I'm going to torch his ass on the way out the building. And I'm like, I'm going to make sure you don't get this job either. But if that's not the case, then it is just straight up pettiness by Rick Carlisle on the way out the door. And it's the whole reason that Jamal Mosley is going to leave. So, it just matters on your perspective. But I'd be inclined to believe that perhaps both things can be true.
I think it can. My thing was, first off, everybody seems to get really upset about Jamal Mosley, and like we don't even know if he would have been a great hire or not. We don't know. He's not been a head coach.
Well, Luka liked him.
The only reason why we were upset is because we found out Luka and Jamal Mosley were close. But so is Luka and Jason Kidd now. To me, I think Luka kind of just goes with the flow. Like, I feel like when it happened and Mark called him and said, hey, I'm hiring Jason Kidd, he goes, that's cool, bye. That's literally, I think, how... That's
is
how
that your
I feel
Luka
like
impersonation?
it is. It's better than my Jerry Jones impersonation.
So, you know, covering the team last year, being in the arena, whenever Luka was on the floor, it was him and Jamal Mosley. Like, I seen Jamal Mosley and Luka like at the hip all the time at the AAC. So it doesn't surprise me that they had a good friendship or they were close.
How much of that, and this is something that Mike Bassick brought up that I'm very fascinated by, how much of that is like the true blue friendship and how much of it is when you're the assistant, it's easier to be buddy-buddy, whereas when you're the head coach, you got to kind of be the hard ass. I'm not saying that could have translated. Hell, I don't know. And maybe Jamal Mosley will be an amazing head coach, and we'll look back on this in 2 years and be like, hey, good job, dipwads. You picked the wrong person. But for now, I just kind of wonder, like, if that had anything to do with it, or are you going to find out that this was just the next straw to push Luka to the Lakers or wherever people think he's going to end up in 4 or 5 years?
Well, you know, I don't know if you know this, Mike Bassick, your co-host, he joined me and Billy's post-game show a lot this season. You know, we call Luka Step Back Jack is what we call him over there on our post-game show. 'Cause he's like, just step back and jack it up through the.
You know what I'm learning? You know what I'm learning about all of this, Walt, is I feel like I'm at the end of the selection process.
No.
All this discussion at the beginning about how badly you wanted me on. You had Kevin Gray on, Tolo. You had Mike on all the time.
Gavin.
We had Lord Choppy. We had Lord Choppy on. Make sure you call him a Lord because he is a Lord.
That I get. He's an unstoppable force of nature. I can't stop.
We've had Gavin Dawson on. He was on a couple weeks ago. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Oh, Corey, Corey's been on multiple times.
And we've also had Dak Prescott's dad.
Oh yeah, that too
for you. So.
Oh, have you had his brother so he could bash Mike Bassick?
Not yet, but it's in the works.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. Actually, I'm supposed to have dinner with Pops. I don't know if Tad will be there, but I'll definitely bring that up.
Yes. I would love to have Tad on the show.
That would be entertaining to see him and Mike Bassett.
We'll connect the dots on that.
Okay, great.
If we trust me, my lead is your lead. Go ahead.
Back to the Mavericks, though. Let me ask you a question. Now let's move on to the actual basketball side of it, except the pettiness aside. Basketball-wise, do you think the combo of Nico Harrison, who is a Nike executive coming in, and Jason Kidd, who failed at 2 previous stops as head coach, do you think that duo
you really
is
going to stop leading with that?
I'm just telling you. That's a fact. That's just a fact I'm saying. Do you think that duo can lead the Mavericks out of the rut they've been in for the last 10, 11 years?
I mean, I might be a chump, but I'm going to go ahead and be optimistic, especially about Nico. I kind of dig this out of the box hire because of all the connections that he has. We've heard for years, and look, I haven't been able to figure it out. And I'm not trying to start some crap, but I guess I kind of do that sometimes.
Well, you're about to.
I've heard from people on fan text and just people in general that players don't want to come to Dallas either because of the perception of the franchise or the perception of the city in terms of racial issues. So that's not what you want to hear. And then there's the perception that players didn't want to come play for Rick. And so a radical change was probably needed when you haven't gotten anywhere for 10 years. And then the $1 million question, of course, is how much freedom do they actually have? Because at the end of the day, I still think the buck is going to stop with Mark Cuban, and that's going to kind of hamper some of the stuff. But when you see Dame and other people like that shouting out Nico, I'm not saying that means Dame's going to come here because we don't have the ammunition to get it done. But it's cool to know that our new GM is somebody who's plugged in across the league, and maybe that will change the perception, and maybe people will be like, well, now we can go to the Mavericks, or now I want to go to the Mavericks. It's worth a shot to me.
Do you think Shadow Bob, well, I like to call him Shadow Bob.
His name's Bobby V.
Is Shadow Bob still in the organization, in your opinion? And do you think if he is, he's hampering it still?
You're damn right he's still with the organization. All right. Take a look at what the Mavericks have said in the last 48 hours. What a bunch of nonsense that's been. Oh, the question got asked, is Michael Finley is he going to be the vice president or the president of basketball operations? Mark Cuban, at the same time they announced Nico as the general manager and Jason Kidd as the head coach, said, we don't discuss titles. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, he told Brad Townsend it. The guy you kind of like.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Then Jason Kidd is the what? Then Nico is the what? Of course you discuss titles. And if Bob Bulgaris wasn't there anymore, you don't think they would announce that from the top of the mountain after there's this damning article about how he's the shadow GM? Oh, we don't discuss personnel. Bull crap. I 100% believe he's still there. And I've heard his contract's up this summer, this, that, and the other. And yet the Mavericks refused to say anything. After that article from The Athletic, it embarrassed them. That's one of the reasons that Donnie was out when he was. Save this. Oh, they made this decision 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah, right.
And so that article embarrassed them. If he wasn't there, they would say something.
Well, here's the thing. They don't talk about role or what do you say, titles or whatever. Weren't they just talking about? Didn't we just announce Jason Kidd and Nico Harrison? Those are titles, right? Yeah. Well, we don't talk about titles.
Well, then let me ask you this, Kevin. If Shadow Bob is still there, does that kind of worry you a bit? Because we know Luka does not like Shadow Bob much, and you think Jason Kidd is powerful enough to prevent Luka and Bob from getting into it?
Before you go real quick, Bob, I call him Bobby V. I've said that Bobby V even if he's not on the Maverick staff, he will be working for Cuban behind the scenes, giving Cuban the analytics, and Cuban's just gonna come in and say, well, here's analytics, guys. This is what we got to do. This is what we're gonna do. So Bobby V is still in the picture at some point in this deal.
I agree with that. The interesting thing to the first part of your question, though, is Jason Kidd, man, he tried to do some power plays at his previous stop. So I can't tell you. Like, if you don't like behind-the-scenes drama, I have terrible news for you when it comes to the next few years. But if you like watching, whatever nonsense TV show, like right now I'm watching The Elite on Netflix. Oh, my God, it's amazing if you love nonsensical drama. If you like that, then this Mavericks team is going to be for you. Jason Kidd, he is not above pulling a power play. And Vulgaris, I mean, clearly he's not either. So I don't know. I wouldn't think the Kid would have the skins on the wall yet to win that power grab. But I also wonder if Bob's role is diminished because of that article and other things. But it's going to be a behind-the-scenes battle. And if you're good at politicking, this is going to be the time for you.
I just hope that he doesn't get in Luka's way, because apparently Luka did not seem to like him according to that article. So if my thing was, if I'm Mark and I want to make Luka happy, I would have had Bob out. That would have been my first fire. I'm like, sorry, Luka don't like you. Get out.
See, Kevin, I got a problem with this whole we got to do what Luka likes stuff around here. I got a real big problem with that. I have a big issue with that. Like I told you, Bobby V, if he got a problem with Luka, Bobby V will be somewhere up in the suite. He just won't be on the sideline anymore. That's all that means to me.
Well, the good news is you got 5 years to figure it out. Like, Luka's going to sign the Supermax. I don't know when the opt-out is going to be, if it's going to be like 1 year or 2 years, but you should have 4 to 5 years more of Luka. So I hear what you're saying, and I don't want Luka to get a reputation of being difficult, but then I think about players like Magic Johnson who won a title and it was like, this coach sucks. Let's move on to Pat Riley. And like, it can be done without destroying your franchise.
Well, the only thing that, again, worries me now is that the way the NBA has evolved, like, look what happened with James Harden. James Harden just didn't like where he was, and he said, I'm out. And Luka Doncic is at that level where he can force his way. Like, he's not like a random scrub anymore. He is that guy who's a two-time all-time first-team All-NBA now. He has that reputation. He could, in theory, force his way out. So that's the only thing that scares me. But again, I think
don't give me that vibe that he'll do something like that.
I don't know. He seems like he's a pretty angry guy.
But he's not angry enough to say I would trade me, give me. I don't think he's got that in his character to force his way out.
I don't think yet. I think it's too early.
Yeah, it's way too early.
I think those concerns are warranted, but I still think you got a couple of years before they come to fruition. Or maybe I'm just hoping you got a couple of years before they come to fruition.
Okay, so I've already prepared everybody. This year is probably a wipe for the Mavericks. Okay, let's get that out the way. Okay, this isn't gonna
already.
Well, this isn't gonna be championship year, or
wow.
I might not. I won't be upset if they don't make playoffs, because as I tell everybody, when a new coach comes in, his first year is talent evaluation year. Okay, he got to see who fits, who don't fit, who we need to bring in, who we don't need to bring in. So this year, I'm not expecting them to make too much noise.
Well, you're saying they're not going to make the playoffs?
I'm saying if they don't make the playoffs, it's not a failed season to me.
It is.
Why?
Everybody else gonna say you cannot,
because you have one of the best 5 players in the league. Sorry to jump in there. That's why.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. That makes entire sense. If you don't make the playoffs this year, then there's a problem with Jason Kidd.
Well, no, because as I told you, when you getting rid of Rick Carlisle and Donnie, you're taking a step back. Because I'm not a Rick Carlisle guy at all. But I said with the success they had this season, moving to a 5th seed, I didn't think it was smart to let Rick Carlisle go, because the team is actually rolling now. But now you bring in a new coach. Now you take it 2 steps back with the team. Jason Kidd's not gonna come in here and pick up where Rick Carlisle left off.
So the team was essentially exactly the same as last year. Their winning percentage was almost exactly the same. Remember, they were only the 5th seed on a tie break. So they could have been the 5th, 6th, or 7th, which was the same as last year. They lost to the same opponent. They just went 1 game further. I don't want to sit here and pretend like they made all these great gains. I thought they were pretty stagnant from last year to this year. So I think, like, I hear what you're saying about a new coach, and I agree about figuring out personnel and stuff, but if you got one of the best 5 players in the league and you don't make the playoffs, especially, they're going to keep this expanded playoff thing. I think that's a failure to me.
Okay. Well, now that we're on that, there's a guy. He's not here yet. He isn't right. Maybe he'll walk in here in a few minutes. You guys have probably had some conversation. That's at Tovash10 on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
He's very disgusted, and I mean that with a capital D, disgusted with poor Kristaps Porzingis. He would trade him for a bag of M&Ms right now.
Yep.
What is your feelings on Kristaps Porzingis? Because when I agree with Winhorst when he said I don't think you want to give up on him just yet. I mean, because the season before he had a good season. He really didn't have too bad of a season here this past year. But I mean, in the playoffs, you know, I feel like everybody's mad at him because Luka scored all those points and didn't go to the next round.
So I think, you know how you were just talking about, like, you kind of take a step back with a new coach. I think I would be more willing to take a step back in terms of my talent level by dealing off Kristaps, because it's interesting that you say he had a good year. Like, statistically, he had a good year, but you have to factor in all of the games that he continues to miss. And let's face it, like, let's all be adults. All the games he'll continue to always miss. And I think I would rather take my chances with a downgraded talent, because I get you're not getting like what peak Kristaps talent value would be trade-wise. I think I would rather downgrade my talent and be able to go with that, knowing that they can play every single game, or, you know, more or less every single game, and take my chances with a new rotation. So I hear it. It's his first healthy offseason in forever, but I'm moving on. Like, the fit's not there in terms of personality. Cuban told us it's still not there yet, and I wonder if it's ever going to be there. Everything about KP leads me to believe that he wants to be the alpha no matter what evidence is presented in front of him. He's still a quality player, or can be a really quality player, but I'm taking my chances and downgrading my talent for hopefully a better fit and people that are consistently there.
Well, I just want to make this point real quick, just real quick. I've said before I turn over EA, I've said that now he made the comments in the post game, after the season, that he has to work on evolve his game. And I said if he comes back playing the exact same way he played, get his ass out of there quick. Don't even hesitate.
Will it be too late by then?
No.
It will be. I think so.
No, it won't be, because I feel like, hey, what does our guy Jerry say, deadlines make deals? I feel that you might get a better deal for him at the trade deadline than you will right now. Because there's going to be some team like, hey, we need to make a move quick, in a hurry. Let's just give up everything, just like the Mavericks team to do on trade deadline. Give up all draft picks and stuff like that and get rid of them.
First of all, I don't think – but by the time you get to next year, you're already midway past the season. And if you got to the point where you do not like how KP's playing and the way he hasn't evolved his game and doing all the positive things you want, then what do you expect to get? You're not going to get much for him. And nobody's going to want –
it's about if he's not playing to your liking.
Here's the thing. The best thing to do is to trade him at least through this summer on the offseason, or sometime early in the season, because again, they're not watching him play as much. You're going for, well, he had a healthy off season, maybe we can be the team that can change his fortunes. You can go through mid-season and you're ready to trade him, then it's too late by then. Nobody's going to want him.
No, you can, as we said before, you can be traded in the NBA anytime you want to.
I know, but for the best value.
You ain't getting no value unless I'm getting back a first round draft pick. I ain't trading him.
I don't know.
I think you could get a first round.
Well, then if we get a first round trade pick for him, what's
Oklahoma City a call? They got some.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me ask you this: do you think we have a better shot at getting something great this offseason, or more like by the trade deadline? Where do you think it's best to?
Are you going to think I'm a jerk if I say neither? But I think.
Yes, you're a jerk.
That's fair for a lot of reasons. I think you can get something better now, just because you have more time to integrate it. To your point about not waiting until the midseason, because then there's that built-in excuse, because you can already hear it, right?
Yeah.
Well, we made a big trade at the deadline. We had a new coach. Of course, it wasn't going to work out immediately. No. You got the new coach now. You make the KP trade now. You start figuring things out now, and the season doesn't have to be a waste.
I totally agree with Kevin there. I mean, like, and my
Very
thing is
smart.
Yeah, because my thing is, obviously now we got to a point where now Mark Cuban's telepathing that, yeah, Luka and KP don't like each other. Yeah, it's not going to work out. We now know it's an open secret now that we all know. And it's not healthy. You can't have your two top players technically at each other's throats in the beginning of the season. And mind you, I don't think the rest of the team likes KP either. There's a reason why they weren't passing him the ball when he was open. They don't like him. I don't think the rest of the team likes him either.
Well, Winhorst. I'm sorry, get his name right. Obviously a lot of people around here. Apparently, you can't criticize Luka today and say anything wrong about Luka because guys like EA, they don't take too kindly.
No. Sorry.
Excuse me, sir. Can I finish talking?
Can I just defend myself quickly?
Sure,
no,
go ahead.
I don't like when fake ass national media is stirring the pot and then makes up something that really has no really fruit or bearing. And you and Tovash just like to go in our text messages, our text messages like, "Oh, we got to discuss this now." And I'm like, "Can we not just take a break?"
See what I'm talking about? See what they do? See the moment they posting Luka stats and talk about triple doubles, they retweeting ESPN. Wazoo. ESPN is great. You see they on top of it. But the moment they say something bad about Luka, this site sucks. They suck. They got no credibility. Nothing.
I don't think we're there yet, but and I think because we had Scalabrini on today.
Yes, I heard that.
He was like, he goes, "Would you want to go play with Luka?" Of course you would. And my thought, if I was a basketball player, which what a miracle that would be, is I was like, oh, hell yeah, I would want to go play with Luka. But I am concerned that not yet. I think you have time, but I am concerned that Luka will develop a fair or unfair, like a Westbrook-esque reputation where people are like, yeah, do people really want to play with him? And Russell Westbrook's a damn good player. I don't want Luka to get in that category where he's coach killer or GM killer or teammate killer or whatever.
I'm going to take this from a black perspective is what if Tovash was here, he'd say that, right? I want to paint them how everybody see it.
Confirmation he's pulling up. So.
Okay. Oh, well, hopefully Haegland's still here for this. But from a black player's perspective, that's what everybody's going to give you who's black. They're going to say, well, somebody like Damian Lillard's not going to come here because they don't want to come and play second fiddle to a white guy is why a lot of superstars don't want to come to Dallas, or they won't come to Dallas to play with him.
Okay, so you're throwing that out there as a black perspective. Do you believe that is accurate then? Like, I hear what you're saying. I cannot speak to this. Do you believe that's accurate?
I don't necessarily believe it, but I can see guys who are alphas already, like Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard's not going to come here and play second fiddle to Luka Doncic. Like, he's not. Luka can't yell at Damian Lillard when he don't do something right.
And that I can respect, because Damian Lillard might be the most clutch shooter in the history of the NBA. Like, that's fine. I respect somebody who's already been an alpha at a high level. Right. That's why so many people get agitated with KP. Like, what the hell have you ever done in being an alpha?
Well, yeah. So when I'm saying it like, like guys like Kevin Durant and
I get that.
Yeah, when everybody like Giannis is gonna come here, I was like, I don't think Giannis is gonna come here and play second fiddle to Luka. But now looking at his game, he might need to come play second fiddle to Luka because it ain't developed at all.
Hey, great. I mean, I'm fine with that. I'd be fine if somehow we figured out a magical way to get Jokic here. If we can get a quality player here, bring it on. That ain't KP, bring it on.
And I'm going to bring the Afghan perspective.
Man,
this ought to be good.
No. But my only thing is this: is like, I just don't. First of all, 2 or 3 years into this project, I just don't see how all of a sudden Luka Doncic is this irritable player that nobody can play with, and that everyone hates him already in the league. That's already spoken, even though he's gotten respect by countless star players who just love playing with him. So if these other players, these other superstar teams where they make super teams like, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving or LeBron and Dwayne Wade and all that, if those things can happen, I don't know why it can't happen with Luka. I just don't understand why it couldn't happen.
If I may, Mr. Haegland, I'll take this real quick. Just because you come up to me and dap me up, wait a minute, Haegland, you're in for a real treat right now. You're in for a very real treat. This happened a couple weeks ago with Gavin Dawson's on, but now it's about to happen to you, because join us right now in the studio. He's at Tovash10 on Twitter. You don't know this, Kevin. He's our first round draft pick for the show. Number 1 pick for the show coming out of the 2014 media draft that we had. He's number 1 pick. He's excitable. He gets the crowd going wherever he's going. At Tovash10 on Twitter. Get over and follow this account. And I'm going to let him get to you in a second. But to EA's point real quick, I heard Fisher say this too. Well, the guys, they come up and they hug him and they love him after the game. Yeah, that's cool, but at the same time, that's just sportsmanship. They still sit on the other side of the court and say, I want to bust that dude head. That dude dropped 40 on me last time. I want to get him. I don't want to team up with him. I want to get him.
Well, I think you want him.
Yeah, go ahead, Tovash. Go ahead, Tovash.
I'll wait for our producer.
There you go. There we go. There he is.
Whoa!
Just like that, he appears.
How we doing, guys?
Oh, that's the Jason Garrett thing that he likes to do.
How we doing, guys?
You know, I don't know. No, that's not your
Wait,
favorite.
wait. Are you on Jerry's yacht right now? What
Yeah,
are you doing?
yeah.
Hell yeah! I'm in my underground evil genius lair or whatever he's rolling with.
Okay, because you look really, really comfortable, sir. What's going on over there?
Oh my god! Look, I'll be on the show, but if you're asking me to get off the couch, that's right.
Did you have something that you want to ask Haegland real quick?
Yeah, how much do his dancers pay? Because right now he looks really, really comfortable, guys. What's going on?
As a matter of fact, congratulations on the wedding too, man. I didn't get to congratulate you on that, man. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. That's really funny timing. Maybe that's why I'm so comfortable, because for the first time in forever, there's nobody in the house except for the dog. So my son is not here on Mondays and Tuesdays, and my wife is with her brother and sister-in-law just for the day. And so this is the first day I think I've been alone, with the possibility of no humans appearing in the house in forever. So you guys are helping me out and keeping me company. I was watching a horror movie, I got scared, and then you guys were here. So I appreciate it. Y'all are helping me out.
Shout out to your son. It's Brandon, right?
That's right.
I've met him numerous of times. Good kid. Really good kid.
Well, he needs to cut his hair. He looks like friggin' Trevor Lawrence.
And what's wrong with that? You know, starting quarterback?
Oh, I mean, I'm clearly follically challenged, so I think I'm just jealous about these things.
Did you have something?
I too, sir, am follically challenged, but you ain't got to point that out.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about, do you have a question for him?
Oh,
that's what I'm asking.
Oh, sports show.
Yeah, sports show.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Did you forget?
I apologize to all the dermatologists out there. So the subject.
We're talking about Luka. We just fired your guy KP up. Haegland did, but we were talking about Luka, and I gave him the perspective from a black man.
That BS thing that you think that you're all worried about.
Why is it BS?
Because
to me, why you, sir, the only person in DFW? I'm sorry, Kev, but why you, sir, the only person in DFW like really coming to this dude's aid and getting defensive about what's going on and what could be reality?
I just find it funny that you freaked out on our group text.
But wait.
Well, we asked Kevin what he thought about Winhorst comment. I want to make sure I get his name right. Yeah, Winhorst comments.
He's not a horse.
Whatever. And I was giving him from the perspective of a black player that they don't want to necessarily come here and play with a white guy and take second fiddle to that.
Okay, so you actually took it there?
Yeah, I did take it.
He took it.
I'm not gonna go.
You're not gonna go that strong?
I ain't gonna go that trenches with you. Okay. I'll play tight end, but I won't be your offensive tackle. So here's how I feel about that. Real quick, Kev. Sorry, Kevin. Basically, I look at the situation with everybody saying, well, everybody loves to play with Luka. Everybody loves in the doors to play with Luka. As a Maverick fan, I will say, yeah, it does look like that. But when you take a step back, no pun intended.
Yeah.
When you take a step back,
we call him Step Back Jack for a reason. So go ahead.
Right. When you take a step back and look at the actual situation, Kobe Bryant really didn't have any fans in the NBA that he played with.
Michael Jordan either.
Jordan didn't really have any fans that he played with, as peers to say, "Hey, put me with MJ." And so I look at it and I ask you this, do we think that, with Luka being a top 5 player, that we're dealing with the same animal as, pretty much the NBA ghosts of the past?
I think we could. The thing that worries me from that perspective is the NBA has, especially even since Kobe, has shifted a lot with people being more buddy. I felt like there was a time when, Michael Jordan would just as soon slit Isaiah Thomas's throat than ever play alongside him. And I think you can make that argument with Kobe. I'm not here to tell you that when Pau Gasol came over, that was a super team or anything like that. And so my concern is that Luka has the same mentality of those two in an NBA where it helps to have friends. You know, and so I don't want him to get left out in the super team cold because everyone thinks he's kind of a dick. I'm not saying that's the case. I just worry that will become the case.
No, and I see that I can understand the worry there, but my thing was the way it was presented, and it blew up on Twitter when he went on, and he just said those comments, and it just blew up to everybody panicked. Like this off season hasn't even started yet. We don't even know what's going to go on yet. When it happens, it happens. Let's enjoy. And this is something from Tovash. Can we not enjoy Luka right now? Like
now you want to enjoy him.
I've been enjoying him. I'm trying to enjoy him.
Well, y'all been wanting. Yeah. He's already getting categories. Great. He's already great.
I mean,
like his game doesn't even evolve.
I'm not saying he doesn't. All great players evolve, but he is a great player. He is a great player. He is he not? I'm sorry.
You don't dispute that, do you, Walt?
He's good. He's not great yet.
I forgot. Walt hates. See, Walt
gotta get that free throw line thing under control, Kevin. For me, I need that. I need step back Jack to. You know what else he does too? I point this out to he don't want to believe it. When he misses foul shots, he won't attack the basket anymore either. He's straight step back Jack. When he misses a free throw, he gets in his own head. But as
you think
he's gonna develop
not
it.
Great?
What's that?
Think Giannis is not great? He can't shoot free throws.
I don't. Giannis is another player that's good. Giannis got to elevate his game. I mean, whole running down court, trying to big step and topple everybody. That just ain't gonna cut it. Got to do more.
Well, he got hurt, so you might have got your wish.
So
you might have got your wish with Trae Young being hurt too. You don't have to worry about that
No.
tonight.
I don't wish him to get hurt at all.
So Kevin Haegland joins us right here on bFb. He's from 105.3 The Fan. You can hear him at
make sure it's K.M.C Masterpiece now.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Whoa, hold on. He's like, wait a minute, we didn't sign off on that one yet.
No, he's
See, Tovash knows what time the show is. He's not trying to give me an hour extra work.
I gave him an extra hour.
So here's what I think about it. And sometimes we joke about, and we actually take for granted our top 5 players and our studs in the game, because these are world-class athletes. These dudes are pretty much, the best basketball players on the planet, right? So when you elevate Luka to a top 5 or whatever, when you elevate Giannis, you have these dudes. Okay, so now you want to put these dudes in perfect situations. And then you got the coaching situation. You got the coaching staffs. You have the owners putting them in place. You have, like dudes around the league that want to play with them. Mid-level exception dudes, rookies, jobbers, as I like to call them. And then other superstars. So it's only 14 more quote-unquote superstars outside of Luka, right?
Yeah.
And so we think, hey, let's pair him up with this person, or let's put him with this person. Let's recruit everybody. And LeBron did that a lot, right? And I hate that he did that way too. But if we look at it,
had to get that chip off her shoulder.
and we hear guys like Winhorst, and he's not the only person that said it, but guys like Pete Vesey and all these other people who talk to people, speak
Don't
to
say
people.
Brad Townsend. You get Kevin going.
McMahon and guys like that, like they have the ear to the league,
Right.
and when they report, hey, Luka is kind of a dick, or Luka is an asshole in the league, guys like EA,
This guy right here.
and Maverick fans, y'all can't really be aggressive and attack the messenger. And my whole point is, like, whenever I hear a guy goes, hey, well, your wife ain't that pretty outside of compared to just you, sir. We can't really take your word for example. Can we look at your wife too, so we can decide how she looks? And that I think that's what matters here, because DFW isn't the only place that judges Luka, and so I want to hear from these other players is what I'm trying to say. And if you go around the league and question these dudes, I would love for these dudes to go say, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a poll of the least likable players like we do in the NFL. Like we did in the NBA with LeBron and all them, and see where Luka ranks.
I tried that with Pat Bev in the locker room last year. Haegland didn't go over too well. He doesn't like me.
Oh, what did he say?
He was just like, basketball is a team game. It's not about one player. And gave me a look like, get out of here.
I hate to
so did KP. Back to you.
I hate to be this guy, but I have to go over to work, so
Yeah.
I don't want to mention the place. But anyway, Kevin.
Backstabber. Get your traitor ass out of
The
here.
other 4 letters, or is it how many letters y'all got?
TH. Anyway, Kevin, it was good to see you.
Yeah, get over there.
Later, man.
Yeah, get him out of here. So, Haegland, before we wrap this thing up, I've been dying to ask you this question also.
All right.
I want to know if you remember this. Was the Dallas Cowboys team an embarrassment for you this past season?
Oh, man. Yeah, I remember that very well. All right, let me tell you my behind-the-scenes story about that.
Yes, please.
Well, first of all, yeah, it kind of was an embarrassment this year. Now, I get there were circumstances that led to that embarrassment. But, so last year, it's been more than a year, when Corey asked, "Are you embarrassed?" to Jerry Jones. And so all kinds of media wanted to talk to us after this because he swore and he goes, "Get your damn act together." And then
I
eventually...
don't have time for your ass today.
Oh, yeah. Our automatic phone screener hung up on him.
Yeah.
Because we had to push the dump button 3 times. And so he got hung up on, and people thought he hung up and was pissed off, and he called back. And so people were asking if this was planned. Let me tell you something. Hell no, it wasn't planned. And here's how I know it wasn't planned. Because you know what I did immediately after that show? I went to go buy an engagement ring. And then after that, I went to go look at, because I was going to look at houses with my soon-to-be fiance, now wife. If I had known that any of this was going to happen, I wouldn't have made plans after the show. It was like, we ended up being in, like, somebody called me from Forbes magazine. Parker in Denver wanted to talk. We had different news crews from across DFW kept coming in studio during every break to interview us. I wouldn't have scheduled anything after the show. I'd have just sat around and acted like a big shot and been like, oh, I'm going to talk to these people now. But I had to go to the diamond store, which was clearly a good decision, and go look at houses. So there's no way in hell I thought any of that was going to happen.
Yeah, I too have an account at that same store. So I will ask you this before we let you go. Because me and you sharing the same interest with a certain college basketball team. And what are your shit. I'm about to get emotional.
Oh no.
What's your take about one Mike Krzyzewski leaving us after the 2021?
Should we have Cat cue up some sad music for you while you guys talk? Okay.
Man, you should. Play that old Vitamin C graduation song. Remember that one?
Boys to Men End of the Road or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Boys to Men End of the Road.
Oh, then I might get more emotional. At least the other song is just stupid. So I was really sad, and Corey broke that news in the middle of the show, and I was like, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
And so I told my
Corey.
wife, and this is how I know it was a good decision, and she knows, like, one of my life goals was to go see Duke play at Cameron Indoor. I've seen Duke play in the NCAA tournament twice, and, like, by going elsewhere, but I've never seen them play at Cameron Indoor, and as soon as I told her that, she was like, oh, no, we need to go see them this year. And I was like, well, hell yeah, let's go, Jazz. Yeah. And so I'm sad about that, but I'm hoping it'll get me off my butt to go see them at Cameron, and what a hell of a career.
I've been a Duke fan since I was 9 years old. In fact, Grant Hill motivated me to get off the couch and go play basketball as well.
Hey, he was drafted the same year our head coach was drafted, and they won co-rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that. I was pissed that we drafted Jason Kidd over Grant Hill. As a Duke fan since 1986, when the Final Four was in Reunion Arena and we lost to Louisville in the finals, Louisville, I was furious that we picked Jason Kidd over Grant Hill. And I know Jason Kidd turned out to be like a really quality NBA player, but I just kept thinking about Grant Hill jumping, 18 feet in the air and dunking that ball in the NCAA tournament. I was like, how can you not draft that guy?
Still kind of lost.
And then, you know what's funny? It was sad because I actually treat Grant Hill like I do.
Cut that up, Cat, a little bit.
Like I do Ken Griffey Jr. and say, hey, you know what? If those careers had panned out more, and we actually stay away from injuries, I think that Grant Hill and Ken Griffey Jr.'s career would have been, I'll say it right now, because Grant Hill was trying to be
Grant Hill was LeBron before
he
LeBron,
was trying to
man.
make us forget about
can see
Michael
that.
Jordan. He was trying to make us forget about MJ, and his career got sideways so fast. We almost lost him.
Yeah,
And
because he has so many leg injuries.
yeah, because of the the staph infection and stuff like that.
Let me ask y'all something then. You guys can help me out. So it was actually tennis that inspired this. My thought about this tomorrow is, so Roger Federer needed someone to get hurt to win his first round match, and then Serena just had to withdraw from Wimbledon because she got hurt. So like clearly Father Time, always, forever, undefeated. Who was the athlete that y'all got sad to see get old? Maybe it's just because they got hurt a bunch, or maybe they just got old right in front of your eyes, and you're like, oh, I remember when you were the best, and now this is sad to watch.
Mine's is more, as always, basketball. So it's always going to be Kobe and Dirk.
Okay.
For me per se, I hated when Stone Cold Steve Austin basically couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, that was hard. That was hard for me. Seeing him as a general manager instead of seeing him in the ring, knowing that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a funny story real quick. I got to meet him the day when we were out at Texas Motor Speedway with G-Bag, and I asked him a question. I was messing with him. I said, "So, you think you got one more left in you?" And I swear to you, this was his response: "Goddamn, son, I fall on my neck one more time. I'm paralyzed. You don't want Stone Cold to be paralyzed, do you?" I was like, "No." Well, then you don't. Well, then no, I'm not gonna get back in the ring. It was fun. He was messing with me. Great guy. I love
Fair.
Stone Cold.
That is fair.
I think personally for me, I have a handful actually. For one, Grant Hill, my baseball idol, and the reason why I played the game, Ken Griffey Jr.
Okay.
Reason why you wear your hat like that, perhaps,
Right,
as well.
and
That's
this
very
shirt.
Griffey-esque.
And his shirt. Also, more recently, a guy like, Penny Hardaway.
I was just getting ready to say Penny.
Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yes.
one.
Stole my heart, man. Derrick Rose.
Oh man, there was a minute I thought Derrick Rose was going to surpass LeBron as being the face of the league. Like people forget I think he was the youngest MVP ever, or like one of the youngest. It looked like him and the Bulls were going to take over the freaking league.
He
wish
just
they
jumped so hard and would come down so hard. I'd be like, good God. Westbrook the same way too. I'd be like, man, y'all come down so hard on y'all bodies. T-Mac, throw T-Mac in there for me too.
Yeah. T-Mac was in it. At least Westbrook had a problem. It's called Patrick Beverly. So we're good there. But and then there was guys like who am I forgetting? Goodness, help me out. Oh, Antonio Romero Romo.
Yeah.
That guy.
Romo. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then I guess pretty much lastly, I think he could have played at least 4 or 5 more years.
Throw
after
Des
the
Bryant in there
championship.
for me.
Not Dez for me.
Yeah, throw Des in there for me.
But Dirk.
Yeah.
Because I think Dirk, after the championship, after one said owner blew everything up and said Tyson Chandler, you go to Phoenix, and everybody else will go, their way. I think that, if those guys would have remained here after 2012, and I tried to tell Skin that back in the day, and he disagreed with me. But I said, you know what? Keep that team. Just keep it, and then maybe Dirk continues to have that same body and have that same mentality. But Dirk went in and said, fuck it. I'm going to go get fat real quick and go to Germany with my, with my wife or whatever. But I think that he keeps his knee. I also think that Dirk, pretty much would have given us at least 6 to 7 more years of good quality basketball before his legs gave out.
I had the pleasure. This is probably the highlight of my media career and of my life. I had the pleasure of being around Dirk. His last year in the league. Like, it was a joy to be around Dirk. Dirk was cool. When he passed, who was that he passed last? Was it Wilt?
Number 6?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think it was Wilt. And we were in the press conference room, and he was talking about it. And I snuck in. I said, I tried to keep him around longer. I said, so is MJ next? After that, and he laughed. He said, I don't know about that one. And right then when he said it to me, I said, it's over. He basically just told me he ain't coming back. It's done. Once he said that.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, these careers, they will humble you real quick. Of course, especially if you take an injury, here or there. And just like Trae Young tonight, and just like Giannis tonight, hopefully, those guys get healthy and we can continue to see them play ball.
Well, we want to thank you, Kevin, for joining us. It's like I said, we've always wanted you for. We even asked Corey one time after you finished. I was like, "Can we get Kevin to come down?" And he's like, "I don't know about Kevin's pretty busy." But you stayed pretty far the last time when we were deeper in downtown. He was like, he stays a little bit too far to come.
Well, I mean, hopefully I earned a return invitation at some point.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, most definitely. You, just like I tell everybody, you have the avenue to come on here and promote whatever you want to do, because you guys laid the groundwork and the foundation for me. So I'm always grateful for what you guys did for me. So you have this platform anytime.
Do you think that next time if I come back, everyone on the show will be there the whole time?
Yeah, and they won't leave to go to enemy radio stations that they work for in their spare time. It's a really good point.
I fear not competition. Bring it on.
I want to say thank you. And, of course, thank you for always lending your buddy Mike Bassick. Anytime we started on the postgame show, that guy was right there. Listen, we would be on at 12 or 1 o'clock at night, and this guy would be up with us talking Mavs till 1 or 2
because he lives the Mavericks 24/7. So much so that his wife is like, you're not the general manager of the Mavericks, right? I don't know if he does know. He knows it, but I don't know if he knows it.
Well, you know what? It's funny. I told him this joke one day. I said, hey, you know what? So when you were on G-Bag, they were number one. You go to K.M.C Masterpiece, they're number one. So I'm starting to see a trend here. You. And he laughed. He's like, don't give me that much credit.
Hey, it's really simple to follow our trajectory. Mike Bassick makes everyone number one, and we take every time slot once Chris Arnold is done with it. That is basically what our job has been. So that,
I have loved you guys' show since you were on tonight, since the Wheel of Misfortune. I told Corey this is a true story. I said I would donate whatever I will to my possibilities if I could have the rights to the No Shirt 9 o'clock.
Oh man, I'm always ready for business.
The Wings are 6-8. The Fever looking.
Look at that. What were you saying, Kevin?
The Wings are playing.
I'm always open for business, so we can figure out a way to figure this out.
Well, yes. Check you guys will be on tomorrow, right?
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Not
105.3 The Fan.
Not 3. Hey man,
no.
Again, man, this is a thrill. Anytime you want to come back on, we would love to have you back. This is a great interview. You are one of my favorite people at The Fan. I love everything you do. I love your work, everything. Anytime, man.
I appreciate you saying that, and I understand why you would want me back, because having Kevin on your show is obviously what's best for business.
Hey, look at that. My God. Thank you. Kevin Haegland, have a good night, man.
Enjoy those strippers.
Later, y'all.
Listen, let's take a break real quick. Let's go above the rim. We got to talk about your guy, Scottie Pippen, real quick.
Okay.
And we got to talk about what's going on around the league. Update him real quick.
The best side chick of all time?
Wow.
What happened?
Let's take a break. Above the rim right here next on DallasOnAir.com.
a 10-game losing streak, and we are underway from the fairground.